Well, everyone, I apologize, but I accidentally let the phone, the video shut off. I hate to do those abrupt shut-offs, but they happen. I'm going to have to make me up some sort of a little explanation tag onto the tail end of the video when I post them. But when I tried to put the phone back on in the stand, I accidentally triggered the button to shut it off. So anyway, it was getting pretty hot, and I've got it up there now cooling off. There's probably a lot of noise from before, but trying to cool it off with the defroster, air conditioning. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the sign forest. I certainly did. Probably should have just got out and walked through it, but I think we got the gist of it all. Next time I come up here, I want to see if I can find me a sign from Huntsville, Alabama, and donate it to them. I think that would be neat. I'll go talk to the city and see if they got the old sign to sell me so that Huntsville would be represented up there. Lake Watson Lake, I guess they call it. Well, it's a pretty nice little town. Quite a few things there. Seemed like a lot of Chinese influence there because there were a number of restaurants that had that were Chinese, and a nice little town. I think the next time I come up, I'll make a point to stay there somewhere close by and see the town a little bit closer. But that was interesting. I knew I'd find something interesting along the way, but that certainly was one of them. So now we're moving on, heading on down towards Fort Nelson. We've got several places to go through. We went through, I think, called Upper Laird. Now down here we'll go through Lower Laird, and pretty soon, then after that, we'll go turn south and go down into BC and stop somewhere, like I said, around Fort Nelson, and the next day we'll go on down through Dawson Creek and into Edmonton. Dawson Creek is the starting point of the Alaska Highway. So when we get to Dawson Creek, we will have ridden pretty much the entire Alaska Highway. Goes from Dawson Creek up to Delta Junction. We've been all the way up to Delta Junction, and then come all the way back down and wind up in Dawson Creek. So the gentleman I was talking to, I was telling you about at the station where I filled up, he suggested that should I decide to come back, and he said, you've drank the Kool-Aid, you'll be back. But he said that late August, or sometime in August, would be a great time to come up to Dawson City, because they have a big music festival up there last like 3 weeks. Said you have to go ahead and make you some reservations. But said you might want to get up there during the music festival, and that sounded like something might be interesting. I don't know what kind of music they play at the music festival, but that might be interesting. And I was already thinking that September, early to mid-September, would be a much better time. Hopefully we wouldn't have to fight as many mosquitoes, and might see a little snow on the ground. And then next trip up, I think I'm going to be prepared to do the Dempster Highway instead of the Dalton. Since I've done the Dalton, I think I'd like to try the Dempster and go all the way up the Arctic Ocean. And in doing so, I want to make sure I cut through the Northwest Territories. I've done the Yukon, I've done BC, I'll be doing Alberta, I've been in Ontario, so I think it'd be nice to kind of treat Canada like the United States, where you say, well, we are now in British Columbia. But I think it'd be kind of nice to look at Canada much like traveling the United States, trying to travel all of the cities. Traveling all the states, it'd be nice to travel all of the provinces and territories. Now, I don't know if you saw that sign or not, if you were able to read it as I traveled through, but they say there's bison on the road up here at milepost, I think they said 472, or maybe it was 472 kilometers up here, but they were cautioning the bison on the road. So, hey, we may see a new wild animal. Of course, I expect to see those down in Montana, Wyoming. My niece told me about a I guess at Jackson Lake, at Grand Tetons, the big lodge there, that they have a bison steak that is to die for. So, Lord lets me live long enough to get there. Maybe I'll try the bison steak and see if it's that good. If she says it is, I have full confidence that anything she says is good definitely is. So, shout out to her and thank her for that tip. We'll definitely be trying one of those bison steaks. And I believe it's at Jackson Lake, the lodge there at Grand Teton National Park. Well, anyway, again, I'm rambling and talking too much. If y'all let me know if you like that or don't like that. If you like me to shut up, just let you see the sights, I'll be happy to do that. If you like me to keep talking and tell you my silly stories, I'll be happy to do that too. I just want to kind of narrate things along the way, and as I learn things, I like to share them with other folks. So anyway, I'm going to let the camera take a little break, and we'll be back. Pretty interesting, the difference here. I think I can just feel a difference. The road is looks like it's pretty much in better shape and wider. Not much mountains, but not many mountains, I should say, and with real wide shoulders. And I suspect off-road, I suspect the big wide sections there is so that for two purposes. One, it gives people a place to travel on their snowmobiles, four-wheelers, and such as that down the sides of the road. But it also gives you a good view of anything that might be approaching the road, say it be a bison or an elk or a moose. It's not going to be hidden from view by trees and such as that. So that seems to be typical of the roads up here. I'm not sure why they do it, but I'm just guessing. I do a lot of guessing about this stuff. Really deep gully here with what does it say it is? It's the Highland River. Nice looking river, way down deep. Let's slow down here a minute. This U-Haul is going to pull over here, looks like. Just ease on around and head on up the hill. It just seems a little bit different. Y'all give me your feedback. Tell me if you think it's different than what we've been driving in before. Like I said, we are in BC. We're traveling northeast right now, but we're primarily traveling east for a little while till we get to Fort Nelson. Then we'll primarily be traveling south when we get to Dawson Creek. So y'all let me know what you think. If you see it different, I do. But then I'm looking from a little bigger perspective, a wider view than this camera. camera offers. I'd like to find the right kind of equipment to really be able to video this stuff properly. So if anybody out there that that does this kind of thing and would like to share that information with me as to what kind of equipment would be more proper, I'd appreciate it. And if somebody wants to sponsor me with some of this equipment, I do plan to do more of this kind of travel. I like seeing stuff and I like sharing what I see. So if somebody wants to let me know what to use or sponsor me on what to use, I'll be glad to take you up on it. But I think it'd be nice to have something that would be maybe mounted on a gimbal that I could rotate from side to side and be able to catch a wider view. Something would have a wider angle, but that I could focus more down the road if I needed to. So anybody that knows about this stuff, feel free to share. When I ask for advice, I usually try to take it. And I see people that ask for advice, and then you give them advice, and they argue with you. So that won't be the case for me. I appreciate any input. All right, we'll go right along. Hopefully we'll find a bison or two along through here. Maybe we'll whack one, and then we can have our own bison steaks. No, we don't want to wait for that. This bumper's pretty strong I've got on this truck, but I don't think it's strong enough to whack a bison with. So y'all just disregard that statement. That's kind of stuff. You know, I've been known to make stupid statements before. That's maybe one of my stupidest ones. Well, we having fun, ain't we? All right, y'all hang in there. You know, I always like to take pictures, as you know, or video as I go down some of these hills and around the curves. You never know what you're going to see. That's right, a pretty view out through there, I think. We're about 50 miles now down the Alaska Highway from, I won't say down east on the Alaska Highway from Highway 37 intersection, Cassia Highway, and I thought that was the right pretty view. We're still continuing to travel east primarily, with a little northeast and southeast thrown in the mix, but primarily traveling east. And one of the things I've noticed, and if you're watching the videos, you might be able to see them, I don't know. But I don't know how many of you are familiar with what they call rubs, where the deer, in our case out here, it's probably more moose and elk that rub their antlers on the trees. I don't. People smarter than me can tell me why, but I don't. I don't really know. I just know that there are such things as rubs. And there was a section we came through back yonder, and we may have seen them before and just hadn't noticed them, where trees as big as maybe 8 to 10 inches in diameter had most all of the bark rubbed off of them in about a 2 or 3 foot section. Big rubs, and probably could only been done by either a caribou or a moose. To be that taken off. I mean, it goes even down into the wood itself. But you hunters out there, you people that know more about wildlife, might want to share the reason they do that. I think it's clean the antlers. I don't remember. So maybe somebody will share that information on the comments. But there's lots of rubs along through here. Unfortunately, they all seem to be on the left side. The camera's kind of focused more on the right hand side. But anyway, just thought I'd share that little point. And we'll ride on down the road and see if we can find something else interesting to talk about. See y'all later. another pretty view coming up. So I got to swallow a mouthful of beef jerky. Keep a big old bag of beef jerky in my passenger seat where I that's usually my lunch most days. Some beef jerky and water, and keep traveling that way. Occasionally I'll have a real lunch, but I've got to where I really enjoy the beef jerky. But I thought we'd capture this view as we come off this hill. One thing I wanted to comment about, and it's an observation I've made up here, and that is how clean it looks. Yeah, I've traveled pretty much all over the United States, and I can't give a lot of high marks to my home state of Alabama for lack of litter. We have our share of litter for sure. In fact, my wife used to go down on the road at least twice a week and pick up litter where people toss stuff out of the truck or let bags blow out of the truck, or a lot of them would go, they're construction people, and they'd go get their meals at McDonald's or Burger King or whatever, and then just pitch it out the window when they get on the way back to the job site. That's what I believe. Anyway, I can't prove it, but that's what I believe. I'd have to catch them. But here, I rarely see any litter on the side of the road. It's just pretty much unheard of. And I am very impressed with that. I don't know if it's a credit to people who don't throw stuff out. And of course, this highway gets traveled by people all over the world. But I don't know if it's that the people don't want to litter here, or if the local establishments make sure it's all picked up. But it is just extremely clean, and I give them high marks for that. Another thing I've noticed up here is I don't see what we would have at home as buzzards. You know, buzzards is one of the world's garbage eradication animals, fowl, and I don't see a lot of big buzzards up here. What I do see a lot of are large, I call them crows. They may be a little bit different species, but great big black crows. And they sound like crows when they're yapping, but maybe I do too, I don't know. But they're the ones that seem to be cleaning up the animals on the roadside, not the big buzzards. And so I don't know if that's something unique here or not. I have not seen it other places. But down home, if an animal gets hit on the side of the road, that roadkill will be swarmed on by as many buzzards as can fit in there. Big old monster buzzards. So, just an observation. Your thoughts would be appreciated. All right, we're gonna let the camera rest again here a minute. I'm gonna go over this hill first and see if we see any pretty views. Oh yeah. Check it out. Nice view. That might be my first wow of the day right there. Beautiful view. Been watching the milepost along through here. Of course, they're in kilometers, not miles. And they apparently are referenced back to Dawson Creek. And against my odometer. And we're pretty much right on track. So those are the Alaska highway markers. All right, I'm gonna take a break. Coming down a long grade here. I'm not sure how steep it is, but they were cautioning trucks up as we approach the top to stop and do a brake check. So it must be a long steep downhill. Thought we could just go ahead and record it. Back on pause for a bit. Well, folks, we've got a spare here, looks like. I think that may be what it is. Yeah, big old bear right there. All right, who's counting for me? Interesting set of mountains in the district, the distance. Not sure what they are, but don't know if it show up on the map or not. Don't say what range that is, but I think it's kind of an interesting combination of mountains. We'll keep the video on for a little bit, see if we get a better view. Of course, they're way out in the distance, so I don't know how well the camera's picking them up. We'll see when we look at the video. Bicyclers, I tell you, my hat's off to those folks that's willing to ride a bicycle on this road, and particularly the long distance bicycling. Pretty amazing what they have to go through. Next level is motorcyclists. My hat's off to them as well. Both of them facing the elements that I'm pretty well protected from in this truck. I think we'll pause it again for a bit. Now we're seeing that range of mountains a little bit closer, and thought I'd grab some video of it. farther to the left. So I'm kind of stacked, looks like, way out in the distance. Pretty interesting. I am definitely a mountain person. I enjoy looking at the mountains. Been some fires down there Fort Nelson, but haven't seen any evidence of it yet. We're still about 200 miles or so west of Fort Nelson, northwest. But I saw that there were some fires down there, but there's no road closures at the time. And the fires were kind of north of Fort Nelson. So hopefully we won't see any. Fires can be very, very devastating. I know from experience, because when I was in the military, I lived off base in a trailer, in a trailer park, me and a friend. And woke up one Saturday morning to the ceiling on fire in the trailer. Lost everything we had just about, except what our clothes that we put on as we were leaving the trailer. So, I know how devastating a fire can be. There's so many new people that's bringing into the military due to Vietnam that they just didn't have enough housing to house people on base. So if you could show that you had $300 in the bank, I believe that's the Laird River to our right. But if you could show that you had $300 in the bank, you could move off base regardless if you were above a certain rank. And I believe it was Airman First Class. And so a friend of mine volunteered to put up the $300 for me because I didn't have it. And so I could show that, and then we shared a trailer off base together. Won't ever forget the old boy. He was bounced back and forth between staff sergeant, tech sergeant. I think he might have even made master one time, but I doubt it. But staff sergeant, tech sergeant, and buck sergeant. He would bounce back and forth. He had a drinking problem, and yet he was smart as a whip. Was selected, as a matter of fact, to be on the one of the first groups to train for the F-111 for the weapons control systems. So he was very smart. He just couldn't let the alcohol control him and cause him to get busted more than I think twice while I knew him. But he was a good old boy. Always appreciated the fact that he made that offer to me, because we were living in, at the time we were living in basically condemned World War II barracks. That's about the only place they had to put us up. But enough war stories. We're looking at scenery. We don't want to talk about war stories. cleanest roadsides I've seen in a long, long time. I'm just amazed at this. These folks really take pride in their countryside. Take a little break here and we'll pick up something a little bit later on. Kind of a neat looking bridge coming up. I kind of like to get bridges in the view. I like the structure. Really neat. We're crossing now the Laird River. Pretty view. Pretty bridge. This guy in front of me, he obviously don't like to get too close to the edges. He likes the middle. And sometimes I do the same thing, I have to admit. But look at the cables right there that support that thing. I don't know if that's cable or pipe. Looks more like pipe. Could be round bar. Neat bridge. I had a driving instructor one time when I was taking a course for a Class A license, and one of the old boys that was driving, we had like 5 people, trainees, 1 trainer driver in our truck, and 4 and a trainer driver in the other truck, or I guess there's 3 and 4, excuse me. And so anyway, one of the boys that when he would drive, if he come to a bridge or anything that had a solid abutment on the right hand side, he would kind of move out to the middle. And after about 3 of those, he was driving one night, and the instructor asked him, said, "Why do you do that?" He said, "Well, I just kind of move over and make sure, you know, I'm clear enough of the edge." He said, "So you're telling me you don't know where you're at in the road?" And he said, "Well, no, not exactly." He said, "If you're uncomfortable with that and you meet somebody on this bridge or in this area where the road's a little narrow, what are you going to do?" He said, "Well, I get back in my lane." He said, "How do you know when you're in the lane?" So he said, "I suggest to you, in fact, I'm telling you, that don't ever do that again when you're in here with me. You drive this truck in your lane at all times unless you're going to pass somebody." And boy, kind of got the message. He then learned to stay in his lane instead of going out in the middle. I have to admit that from time to time now, I get a little lazy and slide out towards the center line, but unless it's a narrow bridge, I generally try to stay in my lane. Just the way one ought to drive. Not casting any judgment on anybody that does like to get in the middle. We had a bridge at home once over the Tennessee River that when I drive the motorhome across it, or any big truck across it, I have to admit, I get in the middle, because if there was nothing coming, it was just too narrow for 2 big vehicles to meet each other. All right, we're gonna quit telling stories now and take a little break. Talk to y'all later. Well, I don't know if y'all can see them or not, but and I'm gonna try to take the phone down without killing it. But if you look right down through there, there's a herd of buffalo, bison, whatever you want to call them. They're right down in that little thicket. See if I can let the window down and ease by there. There's a big herd of them right down there. 8, 10, maybe 12. I decided to pull off and stretch my legs a little bit. And lo and behold, there's bison. Unfortunately, not a great place to stretch my leg. But I did find some bison, so now we've got some of those to add to our list.